Welcome to King Says So, a channel that advocates for one Africa, one land, one Africa, one language, one Africa, one currency, one Africa, one army. I wish to witness Africans all around the world united as one in our lifetime. Enjoy.
Black Heart, the Hustle Continua. 100% good quality t-shirts, made to inspire your goals and dreams. T-shirts are now available at an affordable price. Place your order now. 068-473-6908. Instagram at Black7576. Facebook page Black Heart.
No traffic cop will stop us. No police brutality will stop us. No army can stop us. We are marching in unison. We are marching together. We are one team. We are going to union building. We are going to install the flag of the EFF and the union building and in all embassies of South Africa all over the world. They like it or not, the march starts today. Natal, you are invited to union building and do not disappoint. Make it to union building. Amanda! Amanda! Viva, Yebe, viva! Viva, Yebe, viva! My showman! My showman! My showman! My showman! Yamasabana!
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy King 053, Mr. Easy Imali, and we're back at it again with another one. And this time around, we're going back again to KwaZulu-Natal, to the Zulu Kingdom, and we are speaking about Mr. Julius Malema visiting the royal crown, the Zulu monarch, and how important that move is for the EFF. I mean, the EFF is now currently the second biggest political party. We cannot stop. Let's stop pretending that the DA is bigger than the EFF. Can we stop that nonsense? The DA is not the biggest, second biggest political party. The EFF is. The numbers are clear. The numbers are very clear. So for me, it was a good move that the EFF went there and saw the king. Amazing. A king is very busy, guys. And a king does not open his schedule easily for anyone, for any political party, for any reason. We have to respect the crown, especially the Zulu crown, because the Zulu crown is a crown that oversees the biggest land than any other crown, the biggest population than any other crown. So there's no other kingdom that can be compared to the Zulu kingdom. Not to say it is more important or less important, but it's to say we acknowledge the amount of responsibility that is on the Zulu shoulders. And we can go back in history in terms of what the kings have done. You know, I think it's about five of them, from Shaka Zulu to Missy Zulu. I love that name. Guys, imagine your name is Missy Zulu. Missy Zulu. My goodness. It's a beautiful name. It's a beautiful name. Let's quickly listen to why the EFF went to the royal crown.
Well, we came to introduce our organization to His Majesty, and we also came to officially congratulate him and pledge our support like we did even before he was officially put on the throne. We were formalizing our relationship and saying to His Majesty and the royal family, we will be here on the 10th of February. And will also be here campaigning for the elections. So they shouldn't be shocked when they see the red berets on the streets. Izinduna and Izinkosi must be briefed that there is an organization called the EFF which will be going up and down in the KZN. We wanted to make sure that we strengthen our relationship with the royal family and traditional leadership and work with them closely to ensure that we deliver services to our people. So His Majesty gave us his blessings. He was so happy to see us and reminded us that the royal family and His Majesty welcome all political parties. This is a royal family, this is a royal house. Any other political party should always feel welcomed, and we understand that, and we appreciate that.
Yes, so as you heard, it's very important for any political party with any activity that they are doing in KwaZulu-Natal to go and pass the King Royal Palace and introduce themselves to say, King, please don't be surprised when you see red berets in the streets. It is us. We are the ones who are responsible for those red berets that you'll be seeing in the streets. Remember, the king will be seeing more red berets than the IFP. The IFP is interlinked to the crown because of the former president of the IFP. May his soul rest in peace. But the EFF is taking over KZN. In fact, the ANC has lost KZN. The reason they have lost the KZN is because they turned their backs to Jacob Zuma. Jacob Zuma has got the whole KZN in his hands. He can speak one word and KZN will move. I'm telling you, I can almost equal Jacob Zuma in terms of influence politically with the king. How can you turn your back to Jacob Zuma? Everything that Jacob Zuma told us was true. Rand manipulation. He told us in the Zondo Commission, you guys said he's lying, he's trying to avoid Zondo and everything. He told you Zondo was sold out. You guys said he's lying. He told you Cyril Ramaphosa was this. You guys say he's lying. He told you guys, let's build a nuclear power plant. You guys said no, he wants to steal. He said, let's work together to take the power of ESCOM out of the white monopoly that they have done. You guys said, let's leave these things. It's not about Jacob Zuma. So the reason I'm doing this is because this video is because I'm passionate about Africans owning land. And I agree with the EFF standing point that the land must be in the hand of the state, and the state must distribute the land equally and sensible for what the land is needed for. It's very important. You cannot just own land like you want, like the way white people are owning land in South Africa. You find a person, one family, owning hectares of land and only using 3 hectares or using 20 hectares. What nonsense is that? What is the rest of these hectares for? Understand? That's why if the state owns the land, the state is able to say, listen, Mr. Hlongwane, which is me, Mr. Hlongwane, you've got 22 hectares. And in those 22 hectares, you are using 15 hectares for farming, okay? And you are using only half a hectare for your residential needs. The other hectares that are not being used, we're going to take them and give it to Mr. Ndlozi. Mr. Ndlozi needs land for chicken pot or whatever they call it. He's going to open a chicken company. He only needs about 2 hectares for that. And then we're going to take this land from you and give it to him. No compensation. They don't need to compensate me for that. I must just listen to the land, the custodian of the land, which is the king, that is saying, listen, we're going to take this land, there we're going to build a school, that is how we Africans were doing things from the very beginning until these European people came. You didn't just come and say, I want land for what? What do you want to do? No, I've got 15 cows. I need land for grazing. Oh, okay, take that land, take that. The king knows his land. That's why there's a dispute of land there in the regions where I grew up in, Kwandebele, Kalinen, Centurion. The Pedi monarch is saying, listen, that's our land. They're going to court to say, we need to be declared as the official owners of this land. So if you don't have land, ladies and gentlemen. In South Africa, you're nothing. I like what Julius Malema said. You need land when you are born, you need land when you die. Where are you going to be buried? You understand? And when you are born, where are you going to live? Where is your piece of land? South Africa is so vast. I'm angry because I stay in the Northern Cape, the biggest province in South Africa, where you can travel up to 1,400 kilometers to 1,600, depending from which point to another. In Northern Cape, you can travel 1,600 kilometers. You can imagine, Northern Cape actually can be a province on its own. In fact, Northern Cape can be compared to Namibia because we have plus minus the same population as Namibia. Understand? So for me, it's very important to own land. But you go in Northern Cape, you see companies, individuals owning the land. And I can tell you because for some of you who know, I'm in the Department of Agriculture and Environment Affairs. So I know the nature reserves. I know all the nature reserves that the government owns. I know all the farms that we support and everything. I know all the state land that agriculture owns. I travel Northern Cape like nobody's business, you know. And I'm sad to say, in some other places, we are restricted in entering some other farms because this white person just decided to put a gate here in the middle of the road and say, no, this is this is my land. They don't even have title deeds of this land, guys. Oh, let's listen quickly to what Julius Malema said about the land issue, because there was that people wanted to say there was a contradiction between the state owning the land and the king owning the land. And Julius Malema cleared it up to say, listen, it's the same thing. The king is the state. I love that. It's only us Africans who don't understand it. In England, they understand that very quickly. No, that the queen, or right now the king of England, owns the land. You understand? They own the land. Yara? Okay, let's listen to quickly what Julius Malema said.
Do you know that Ngonyama Trust from time to time is supposed to give an accountability to Parliament? And once you give accountability to Parliament, you are a state organ. So the land owned by Ngonyama Trust is owned by the state, because the king is the state. When you say, let the state own the land, is exactly what the king is. When you say, what role will traditional leaders play when you take the land into the hands of the state? That question doesn't arise, because the traditional leaders are the state. So part of how you manage that nationalized land will include the involvement of traditional leaders in the allocation and distribution of such land. So we don't find any contradiction at all. And ours says the state must be the custodian of the land. And Ngonyama Trust, when people have a problem with the state owning the land, why don't you have the problem with Ngonyama Trust owning the land? Because it's exactly what we're saying. The state, the king is the state. And there's no contradiction with regard to that. Okay.
Guys, we have to put our weight behind a political party that is pro-African, that is pro-black. And when I say African, I mean black. I have to highlight black, because some of you, when I say African, you include everyone. Even Afrikaners are African. Afrikaners are not African. They are Dutch. You know, they are Dutch. Their original home is there in the Dutch. They need to go back home to find themselves. Understand? And stop claiming that they are Africans. Just like black Americans, they know they are not. Oh, I want to sneeze. Excuse me. They know they're not Americans fully. That's why they call themselves African American. What type of nonsense is that? Stop calling yourself African American. Call yourself African. Okay? So the Dutch people in South Africa need to call themselves Dutch. They can say Dutch African, it's fine, but they should not be classified completely as African because they're not the indigenous people of this land. We need to back up a political party, whether it's the EFF or what's not, that is speaking about Africans taking back the land. Expropriation of land without any no compensation, nothing. 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 Listen, if you want to leave the country, leave the country. But if you don't want to share, we're going to take this land. And we've always said, let's take the land through the courts. Let's take the land through legislature. Let's take the land through the legal way, so that there must not be a poor person's revolution that is going to revolution that is going to try to take over the land by force, because the poor people are getting tired of begging the government for land, staying in shacks, staying in unbearable situations. They're going to take the land by force one day, unless the government can assist them. So for me, I want all African people to focus on political party that speaks about taking back the economy, nationalizing the mines, nationalizing everything that has to do with forming the basic needs, providing the basic needs to its people. It cannot be that South Africans don't have a black-owned bank, when the biggest employer in South Africa is the state, but the state does not have a bank. So meaning all our pension funds, some of us who work for the state, our pension fund is lying somewhere in a bank that is not our own. And we cannot get loans on that, because if I go, for example, if my pension fund is 1 million, for example, and I want to build a house of 1 million, I can use that 1 million as insurance, understand, to get a loan from a bank. But because my money is, I don't know where my money is, ABSA, FNB, and Capitec will not give me that money. Even though I'm permanently employed by the state, I can be 20 years in the state and I don't own land. I'm telling you guys, I work for government. I work with colleagues that have been in government for many years, still staying in the back room of their mother's place. Why? Because state-owned employees don't have anything. Once they buy a car, they can't buy a house. Once they buy the house, they can't buy the car. They can't have both. Whether you're a nurse, police, or whatever, you are poor working for the state. The only big positions are for politicians and very educated persons. But for us, the lower class people, what we call lower middle class, we're struggling like nobody's business. So let's put our weight behind political parties that speak about giving land back to its people. It's very important. It's very important that you and I put our weight behind a political party that's saying, listen, we're going to take all of this land in South Africa and we're going to distribute it equally according to the needs of the people of South Africa. You won't believe how much land some farmers are not using. It's just land there. They don't even have the cattle to graze in that land. They have nothing. I'm speaking from experience, people. I'm working for the Department of Agriculture. I've been farming my whole life. I know farming like the back of my hand. You can't tell me anything about farming. Whatever you can, farming. Jesus. Yeah. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. We're trying to hit these 10,000 subscribers. I think at 8,500 or something like that. We are 1,500 subscribers short to hit the 10,000 subscribers. Please, if you haven't and you like the content of this channel, click the subscribe button. It's free, my people, Africans. It's free. You don't pay to subscribe. Make sure that you click the subscribe button. It's very important. I will really appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys. You guys are hitting me on my what you call my email. I like it. Opportunities are coming from overseas that we're going to disclose should the paperwork make sense. And I love it when you guys give me word of advice, word of encouragement, or whatever on the email. Thank you so much for everything that you guys are doing. Clicking the subscribe button on the comment section, liking my videos. I love it so much, guys. We are a family here. The whole of Africa without any borders. Tanzania is home. Huh? Nairobi is home. Wherever is home, guys. I don't care. Lagos. I'm at home. I'm at home. Wherever I go in Africa, I am at home. I fear nothing because I'm with my brothers and sisters of Africa. You understand what I'm saying? So thank you so much, guys. I'll see you guys on the next one. It's a very important one. I'm gonna upload 2 videos for you guys because I love you guys. Try every 7 o'clock in the morning when you wake up, you get a video. If you are lucky, I'll hit in another one in the afternoon. Thank you so much, guys. I salute you. Hey. When we meet next time, if we meet next time, don't forget to pray. And after you pray, stand up and do your best so that God can do the rest. I salute you. Peace in Pan-Africanism.